We're live. Record.
Republic Today, republictoday.net.
It is Sunday night. I got the big squeeze. For those of you who are watching, and for those of you who are listening, there's a big orange pussycat.
It's Sunday night, October 9th. We're vlogcasting live recorded from the Pacific Northwest. What else we got? 2023 is the year.
Yeah, it's 12:52 a.m. It is still Sunday night, October 8th, I would say. My clock says October 9th. Fuck it. Anyway, kitty cat kind of scratched me.
What time does the night end and the morning begin?
I think it's different for different people, and I think that we can honor that. So anyway,
what are
this
different
is
possibilities?
Skull.
And this is Jay. Hi. Yes, that was the introduction. Yeah,
Thank
that's part of it.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else we got?
What is on our... Did we make a spreadsheet for this episode? Yeah, right.
So I got into work and I put on the TV, because that's part of my job is putting on a TV, working at a bar, and there was basketball on ESPN, live NBA basketball.
What? Tell me more.
Preseason. So an exhibition game was being televised on Cable. Is it Cable?
Cable, as other people would know it.
Okay, different people pronounce things different ways.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was the Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers. I demand to have the volume down at all times at my job because I'm the boss. And so I didn't hear what was going on, but it didn't seem as though James Harden was playing in the game. I heard he did show up to training camp. A lot of people were having training camps in Colorado. And I don't know if that's just to like get you in shape because of the high altitude.
It's possible. Yeah.
There is a direct correlation in the NBA between like home team success and altitude. Because they play such a large sample size of games, you can kind of like follow data. And so Phoenix has a distinct like home court advantage. Salt Lake City, Utah, and then Denver. Like those are kind of the big three in terms of taking advantage of the altitude or just having an altitude advantage.
At home and away games. Like because they have home, whatever altitude, they're able to play more efficiently because that's how their bodies were trained. Is that correct?
I mean, in theory, that should work for away games that they'd be more athletic and things, but I don't think that bears out in terms of like the win-loss data.
It's more just their at-home games.
That at the home games,
people are
the
more
visiting team
and
yeah,
fatigued,
right,
and maybe not even as hydrated.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because there's people joke around, and they do have it is like there are certain cities that have certain types of nightlife, and then the next day the visiting players don't play well necessarily because they're hungover or whatever. You know, they're all these like teenage, early 20s something for the most part. The oldest people are like early 40s, and there's very few, you know.
Yeah.
And so like New Orleans actually doesn't. I don't think New Orleans has that, even though it feels like it should theoretically. I think it's just too small a town. Same with like Memphis, but like Atlanta, Houston, Miami are big. Like they're warm weather, and there's I guess a lot of the type of adult entertainment clubs that NBA players like to visit in those cities, as opposed to, I mean, also again, Salt Lake City, you think they'd be getting well rested, but like Portland is a weird one because it's like Portland is the strip club capital per capita, and it's their only like, you know, whatever big three sport, football, basketball, baseball. They don't have hockey either for big four. They have soccer. So that would be like the fifth most popular um sport in America for teams that are city based. So like, but I don't think Portland has that. They're lower altitude, so they don't get the same. Is it even? Are there mountains around Portland? We've been to a Portland NBA game, listeners. Tell me about geography, Jay.
I'm actually not familiar. So I know that like when you get up into Northern California, you get into higher altitudes. But I don't know. I guess that I've never like processed how that like levels out into Portland. But it is kind of like do people call it a delta? Like does it have a delta? Am I wrong?
I don't know about Portland.
But maybe not a delta, but it does have like a big river coming in.
Okay.
Like you understand that you cross the border of Washington over a river
What river?
to get into Portland.
We're gonna
What
look this up on the
river?
fly. And our listeners are all like, well, I know this.
Yeah, good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You get
The
a little
Columbia?
medal.
Is that the
That
Columbia?
sounds right. Correct.
Okay.
So like I don't know, I consider that like a delta, but I could be wrong. I'm not whatever
Columbia River Salmon
person.
Conservation Zone is off the coast.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a huge to be a river though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so there's a big ass river called Columbia. Hey, Americans, here in the Republic, Republic Today, republictoday.net. There's a big ass river called Columbia, that starts at like the ocean, the Pacific, and it separates Oregon and Washington State. That's what
That's
Jay's saying.
that's how they did like the natural geographic like separation between the two states.
Mm.
You know? Like people like they had to come up with lines for things at some point. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I mean, we as somebody who sometimes always identifies as an anarchist, um I don't like the borders themselves, like it is arbitrary and it's made up. And it would be cool because when you take off your anarchist hat and put on like, okay, democracy, whatever, the republic, we have a structure that's a governmental structure in a republic. And so you have um districts, like congressional districts that are shaped like this for you viewers. For you listeners, I'm doing funny things with my fingers.
You're like rubbing two potatoes together. Invisible
But it's like,
potatoes.
no, but they're
And then
like,
you get your fingers a little bit intermingled.
that's how
Maybe
congressional
they
districts
like
look.
start to mash the potatoes together, but
That's like
there's still the
gerrymandering.
skin.
So like
And,
here's a
yeah.
congressional district.
Okay, yep, there
You
they
know?
are, mashed potato,
That's
mashed
what happens
potato.
with gerrymandering. And so like
Yeah.
federal elected, legislator will like represent a district that looks like this just because he was like the richest Republican who wanted to. And that's how our republic works.
Republictoday.net.
And so in terms of TV, I had like it's football season. It's Sunday during football season, and I had preseason NBA on at my job. It was so great. It felt so good.
During a time NFL.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And it's not about punishing or hatred or anger. But I think the hegemony. Hey, you like sports? Hey, I like basketball. It was neat to see Drew Holiday wearing a Boston Celtics jersey.
Oh yeah. I don't know who that is, everybody. Did he move teams?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I put together for it with the context clues, if you've ever heard of those before.
Do you want to talk about that?
Context clues?
Yes. Geography?
Geography? Maps? Portland.
The NBA.
The NBA. I don't know.
Altitude.
Bring it back. And bring it back now, y'all. I'm not gonna keep going. I'm embarrassed that I even said that. Sorry, everyone.
Well, got anything else?
That was the basketball update.
Yes.
Okay.
There was some other news that like I couldn't even remember when we were talking.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's active civil unrest, active war happening in Israel Palestine.
Yeah, that is the thing that's happening in the news.
Yeah. I think we can all understand and like be sympathetic towards Palestinians who have been like actively occupied and like pushed out of their homes and
But god damn
etc.
it,
like
they
over
attacked
decades.
an EDM concert.
Who's they?
The Palestinians, Hamas.
Mm. I saw some imagery from that today. I haven't gotten the full story personally, so if you could do like a little quick recap, maybe
Many
for
hot
me
people
or...
died.
All right. Thank you for listening. This has been Republic Today, republictoday.net. Joe can't even elaborate on that. Fuck him for saying that. Thanks for listening.